Teofimo and his dad's dysfunction remind me of something. Let's talk about this.
Push the weight and now flex. The live is 1 in the 6. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Okay. You know, I kind of I knew this was going to happen. You know, things are just happening. I just didn't know when, you know, to what degree. A lot of the stuff, you know, the world is 360 degrees. You get what you put out. And a lot of the stuff that, you know, we may want to happen. We want people who behave a certain way to get their receipts. Some of the stuff you don't even see. You don't even know what happens, but they know. You know, that's just how the universe works. You want to call it God's plan, you may. To my surprise, a lot of the things that we're seeing in this god-awful sport that doesn't love us, it's happening in plain sight. So if you follow my channel, you know that I am no supporter of Teofimo Lopez or his dad. He's disgusting. Many of you might say, well, I think he's a racist. Many of you might say, oh, no, he's not a racist. He's just being foolish. You know, listen. You can be foolish and not, you know, play with the race thing. All right. He does it on purpose. You know, the bananas, the Keyshawn Davis. And he thinks that's funny. Whichever monkey wants a banana, you know, you play games like that, you know, it comes back to you. Shakur boxed his face in, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching those. I don't know who the British people were that interviewed him. But when he said, "Hey, I hate myself for it," I smiled. And, you know, the British media was like, oh, I'm like, nah, they must not know. And if they know, they're just ignorant to the fact. I don't like this kid. And he put that on himself. But, you know, never mind, you know, me. I'm just watching the fallout. So he does this long interview. The first part I didn't even cover. You know, he's on a couch with Rolly, and you know, we find out that, you know, they're sending each other's beef pics or videos. I mean, what is that? I didn't even want to talk about that. It's ridiculous. I don't have, you know, when you have male friends, you just don't do that. You just don't do that. I don't know what the hell that is. That's just crazy. Anyone who found that humor in that, and that's normalized, listen, there's truth to every power bottom joke when I call it out. That's what makes a joke funny, when there's a bit of truth to it. But I'm not joking. These dudes are pillow biters. They're power bottoms to the extreme. I mean, they just rip holes in the sheets with their teeth. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about when you know, you with your lady and she's biting those sheets and screaming into the mattress. You know what that is. But that's these dudes. But I'm not gonna harp on that. It's when he said that, I was like, I knew it. And it's not only them, it's a few of these kids. But the purpose of this video was to you know, bring awareness to what this dysfunction between Teofimo Jr. and Sr., what it reminds me of. You know, go watch it. You know, Teo starts giving it to his dad. Hey man, you know, getting beat up out there. And you just asked me where my power is at. You know, in other words, when the fight was over, I listened to the corner. And one of the things I said in my reviews was his corner work was disgusting. And Lopez Sr. didn't know what the hell he was doing. But something happened that I knew about it, but I didn't harp on it because I knew it'd come back later. And Junior said it. Not only do we find out that their relationship growing up was horrible, you find out that Teo Sr. disappeared. He disappeared. He flat out disappeared in a very pivotal point leading up to the fight. It was very pivotal. And it reminded me of something. I was like, now, why would he disappear? Not only is he the coach, but this is his son, man. Now, right then and there, I said, okay, Shakur won the battle of trash talking. And Teo, you know, with all that other stuff he plays with the racist stuff, he's very weak mentally. A lot of these dudes are weak. He's mentally weak. It's the same thing I say about him, same thing I say about Shakur, same thing I say about Keyshawn, same thing I say about Tank Davis. He's mentally weak. As talented as these guys are, as you think they are, this dude is weak mentally. And Pop ain't show up. And I forgot what it was. It was a press conference, I think. He didn't show up, and people alleged that he was, you know, on drugs somewhere or drunk somewhere. It's obvious this dude has some sort of substance abuse issue. To me, it's obvious. He didn't show up, and that hurt Teofimo Jr. So right then and there, the fight was already lost. Never mind the fact that Shakur was light years better than him. But on top of that, you getting washed and your dad is in there giving you like no advice. It's not even bad advice. It was no advice in that corner. I was listening. I said, what the hell's going on there? Oh, well. And Teo Jr. said, I hate myself for it. And they had a conversation. I said, wow. One of those press conferences where he needed his dad there, his dad ain't show up. And I said, you know, that dysfunction kind of reminds me of something. If you look to the left of this meme, the guy sitting there, the Hall of Fame fighter, with the shirt that says "Eat More Meat." I didn't AI that part. He really wore that shirt. I think he did. Well, I got this picture off the internet. I just made it move. You know why I have him there? Now, first and foremost, let me say this. I have no problem with Oscar De La Hoya's professional boxing career. He's a Hall of Fame fighter. He didn't duck any smoke, and he fought everybody around him. Everybody of relevance. He did. Oscar's a dog in that ring. He was a dog. I will fight to the end. He is a Adonis. He's a weirdo now. He is. I'll give you that. He's a weirdo. He is. This guy, you know, wearing fishnets and pulling large pieces of furniture out his behind. This guy's disgusting. But you see Canelo back there? When he was promoting Canelo on the most important night of Canelo's boxing career versus Floyd Money Mayweather, where he pretty much needed Oscar, his support and his presence. This jerk, his narcotics habit was so bad that on fight night, he enrolled himself into rehab on fight night. Now, I'm not saying that would have made a difference. Floyd outclassed Canelo. Canelo couldn't throw a rock into the ocean on a rowboat in the middle of the Atlantic. That's how bad he missed Floyd with every punch. So I don't think Oscar sitting there would help. I think Oscar tried to OD because he, you know, oh my God, I want him to win, but he's not ready. He did line after line after line. He said, you know what? I better go to rehab. This kind of reminds me of that. Your guy needed you. And you couldn't put the credit card in the little mirror with the white lines on it away for about a week. You couldn't do that for a week, man. Because you're a weak man, boss. And that was the beginning of the end of the relationship between Canelo and Oscar. And Canelo never forgot that. And he went on to do big things, make a lot of money. And he didn't need fishnets to do it. He never forgot that. Until this day, I don't understand why. Y'all let me know in the comment section, would you let your fighter work with Oscar De La Hoya? Just off of that alone, I don't care. No, man. No. No. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. He's all that's wrong with boxing on the business side and the Hollywood side, you know, the sacrificial anus. And when I heard Teofimo Jr. and Sr. go back and forth, I mean, realistically, that wasn't for us to hear. It really wasn't. It wasn't for us to hear, but we heard it. You know, you hear me say on my channel all the time, man, just let them talk. Just let them talk. You find out a lot of things. I knew they were dysfunctional. And I'm glad to hear it. This guy's crazy. I said that this kid needs therapy. I remember hearing that the family didn't like Teofimo's choice in women. Remember that? They're not, I don't think they're together anymore. And, you know, she was like, oh, I think Teo need therapy. Yeah, she's right on that. This kid crazy. This kid's crazy, you know, and when all else fails, you know, bully the black people, right? Shakur whooped him so bad, he's apologizing for slavery. I'm like, what? Yeah, eat more meat, dude. And then you find out him and Rolly shared, you know, private part pics. I mean, what's going on here, man? And I know y'all gonna say, oh, well, no, Rolly said, well, he said Rolly sends it to him. If you think he's not sending stuff back to Rolly, you're crazy. That's an inside joke for them. I don't think that's funny. So this level of dysfunction is very, very familiar. But shout out to Canelo saying, no, man, I can't work with Oscar. He has a bad drug habit and he's not a truthful guy. And you know, who is Canelo to say who's truthful or not? Mr. Clenbuterol coming out the Reynoso gym. But this whole thing on this screen is a train wreck. And I'm just watching. If anybody disagrees with anything that I've said in this video, please. You know what I'm going to say. Stop me when I'm lying. Did I lie on any of these guys? I salute Canelo for getting away from Oscar. Would you work with Oscar? What are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me? Oh, well, you know, he can get me fights. Yeah, all right. Shout out to Virgil Ortiz, right? What's going on there? He's going to 160. Why? Listen, let me just ruin it for you real quick. Let me just park there real quick with the Virgil Ortiz. He's going to go to 160 and then claim that Boots is ducking him. Boots is going to respond because that's how he is. Then he's going to say, well, come to 160. You see? See how that works? I just ruined it for you because that's what's going to happen. And half of people going to say, hey, man, he's ducking Virgil. Virgil wants to smoke. Boots got to come to 160. And I'm be sitting here saying, yo, hold on. Boots got work to do at 54. What's going on here? And then we're going to be online crashing out and arguing over that. See? See how this works? You see, y'all pick and choose. But don't worry. I'm here to shed light on that. But that's something else. But I'm enjoying the fallout. I'm enjoying the fallout from here. You know, I don't like Teofimo Lopez. You know, cats ask me, well, who you got, Rolly versus Teofimo? I don't care. I'm going to fire stick the fight. It's going to be funny. If I was going to put money on it right now, I'd bet with Rolly. The retard that he is, but it is what it is. But I just want to let y'all know, this reminds me, the level of dysfunction reminds me of this. So whatever. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Bronx on deck. Move!